37. M. The Greek alphabet must have been invented by some individual who knew the Phoenician writing system and who wanted to have some way of recording Homeric epics and thereby preserving expressions of a highly developed tradition of oral poetry. P. Your hypothesis is laughable. What would have been the point of such a person's writing Homeric epics down? Surely a person who knew them well enough to write them down would not need to read them, and no one else would read them. Oh, no one else could read them according to your hypothesis. So which one of the following is an argumentative strategy that P uses in responding to M? So this question is asking us, how does P respond to M? Let's see. P is saying, well, your idea is ridiculous, right? Because P considers, well, what happens if that's true, right? Let's say someone did write down the Greek alphabet or someone invented it to record these epics. P is saying, well, that makes no sense, right? If you follow your hypothesis, that makes no sense because, if they know them well enough, they don't need to read them, and then no one else can write them because, they invented this writing system for the first time. So what would even be the purpose, right? P is saying that their hypothesis is ridiculous, basically, and giving evidence for why it's ridiculous. Let's look at our answer options. A, attacking M's understanding of the literary value of oral poetry. Okay, so A is saying P is attacking whether M understands the value of literature, the value of oral poetry in the context of literature and texts and stuff. That's not true, right? P is not attacking whether M understands the value of oral poetry, right? P is not saying, oh, you don't understand why it's valuable or not, right? So we can cross out A for that reason. B, disagreeing with M's thesis without attempting to refute it. I think B is kind of true, right? P isn't attempting to refute it by saying, well, it's definitely not true because, right? P is just saying, well, it's ridiculous. P is not directly addressing I guess the points that M is making, but that's because P is kind of attacking them indirectly by saying, well, they're kind of ridiculous, right? I think P is refuting it, just not in the most direct way. So I don't like B, but I'll leave it open. C, challenging M's knowledge of the Phoenician writing system. Okay, does P say, M, you don't know anything about the Phoenician writing system, you're not able to make a judgment like that? No, right? I don't think P is saying, well, you don't know enough about the writing system. D, attempting to undermine M's hypothesis by making it seem absurd. That seems very correct, right? I would feel very confident circling that one because P is saying, well, it's laughable, right? What would even be the point, right? Surely, they wouldn't even need to write them down. No one else would need to read them. P is basically saying, M, you're being ridiculous, right? So D, I'm pretty sure would be the correct answer here, but let's also check out E, providing an alternate interpretation of evidence put forth by M. Okay, so P isn't giving an alternate interpretation of evidence, right? What would be the evidence here? Does M put forth any specific evidence? Not really, right? M just really puts forth a claim that, hey, the Greek alphabet must be invented by this individual for this reason, right? And so there isn't really evidence put forth by M that, P can even provide an alternate interpretation of. So E also wouldn't be our answer. D would be our answer here.